Welcome back everyone to Farm Manager 2018. So before we get started in our gameplay today, there's something that I wanted to talk about briefly, and that is the game has recently been issued a DMCA takedown notice on Steam. And what that means for you guys is, number one, if you already own the game, it doesn't change anything for you. It still will appear in your Steam library and you'll still be able to play it as normal, just as I'm doing right now. However, if you've been following the game, maybe added it to your wish list, then the game will disappear for a while because of that DMCA takedown notice. And essentially that is a copyright claim that someone has made about the game, saying that they own some sort of copyright on at least some of the material, if not all of the material in the game. And so all of that has got to get sorted out. And for the time being, the game is simply not available on Steam. Now, as of the time of recording, that is the case. Who knows? By the time this video actually goes live, the DMCA might have already been resolved and the game might be live on Steam once again. I'm not sure, but I do want to start off with that just in case that is the case, because in all likelihood, it's going to take a little while for all of this to get sorted out, and I wanted to let you guys know that that is indeed the case. That's why, if you don't already own the game, that you don't see it right now on Steam. Okay, so with that bit of business taken care of for now, unfortunately, just to sort of sew all this up, I don't have any details, and I don't think anybody else does either, about the nature of the claim that has been made, or any details about any of that. I've not seen any of that, nor is it really any of my business. But for now, we're going to continue on with our gameplay, and if that needs to change in the future for whatever reason, then we'll deal with that at that particular time. But for now, let's continue with our gameplay. Now, one of the things I want to do that I didn't get to do in our last video when I was dealing with the slaughterhouses is I had talked about putting... Oh, we got messages here. I talked about opening up the different slaughterhouses to some more of our animal pens that we have built that maybe we weren't using in the past. So now I want to go ahead and actually just expand on that some more. We've already done that with the cow barns. We're now using all 4 of ours for that. Let's go to the next one in line with the goats, and let's do the same thing. So I'm going to put all of these at 10. Again, that's just sort of the number I am choosing. That is not the optimal number or anything like that. So that way we will have more to choose from in these slaughterhouses, and trying to, again, make sure that they stay busy. Okay, so let's go to next one in line, which is the sheep. And same thing there. We're going to open up our 2 remaining sheep areas to that. All right, our chickens should already be done. Yes, they're taken care of. And of course our rabbits, which we have spent quite a bit of time already dealing with, because they get right to work. If you're interested in animal husbandry in this game, then rabbits are your best bet. They behave exactly like you would think they behave, and they will get right to the reproduction aspect. Alright, we've got more animals ready. I see so in the inseminator, $270, which is a little bit cheaper than actually buying, but of course you end up generally getting 2 or more every time you do that. Alright, I think other than that, we're in pretty good shape here. Our greenhouses have slowed down a little bit, thankfully, for us for the time being. I'm sure that'll change once we crank back up the fast forward. Also, another thing I want to do that I meant to do last time and simply got busy doing other things and forgot about, and that is some more housing for seasonal employees. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I'd rather go ahead and have this built and ready to go at the time, because as we looked at last time, if we wanted to get into this, I mean, there's room for a lot of workers here. And if we decide ultimately that we want to do everything with the seasonal workers, then we will have to deal with that. So I want to go ahead and get a little bit more housing. We've got room for at least one more over here. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and let's see. Was it going to let us put a road? No, not right there. Can I put a road maybe right here? No. Okay, well, we may come back to that. I'm sure I can get a road in there somewhere. But if we end up not being able to, that is certainly not a big deal. All right, so now let's get to the task at hand, which is this large area. And I mentioned in the last video that I'm thinking about putting orchards over here in all of this. So let's explain a little bit more about and talk a little bit more about what I meant by that. So I didn't necessarily mean that we're going to cover literally this entire area with orchards, but what I actually meant by that is if we come back under the production, I meant that we could get into, well, if I can find it here, there we go, the juice factory. So I was thinking maybe we could produce with the orchards. I was thinking maybe some apples, maybe who knows what we can produce on there. We'll find out soon enough, and then take that and make juice out of it with our juice factory, which is fairly large, even the small one. All right, let's see. We have more animals. There we go. That should be all of it, other than our wonderful rabbits over here. Let's see. Employee could not get to their destination. Okay, that is suitable roads. It says he cannot find suitable roads. That made no sense to me. I hope that is not an issue that is going to come back to haunt us and really hurt our gameplay going forward. But who knows? I mentioned at the very beginning of this series that we might have to start over multiple times, and we hope not, because I mean we've already got a lot done here. But if that ends up being the case, then not a whole lot we can do about it. Okay, so I think we're in good shape as far as that goes. And you can see we are right at winter time now. So the ground is starting to change. Let's see, before we start into anything with the orchards, I want to go ahead and put a road right up through here to at least there where we can connect it over. So as I mentioned in our previous video, we're at a point now in our gameplay where the frames per second are really low. I mean, I'm talking mid to low teens in a lot of situations, and that's generally just not good. Thankfully, it isn't all that big of a deal most of the time because we don't have any quick action sequences or anything on the map, but it is a good bit annoying, that's for sure. Okay, our first field. Now, how do we want to do this? I've got an idea. Let's go ahead and start. Once again, I'm going to move off this a little bit, leave some room for water. I think that should be enough. Okay, so let's do, that would be a 75. We don't want to really do a 75. Let's do a 35 by 75. Okay. And then here at the bottom of the screen out by the road, let's go ahead and do, some more housing. Again, how much of this will we need? I'm not sure. I don't have any way of knowing right now, but I'm going to go ahead and put down a couple of the housing, and then we are going to let's see, next we're spending some money right now. I mean, this is the time we're getting into winter, and in fact, let's go ahead and speed things up a little bit. Let's do a juice factory, and let's see, how do I want to orient this? I think I will orient it like this. So we're going to, again, we're not going to worry too much about space because it's pretty cheap in this game. So let's go ahead and about right there should be pretty good. All right, let's slow down things. Oh, we've got that issue again. Let's go ahead and show it. Where can he get to? I mean, there are roads everywhere over here, and we haven't had that issue to date. If it continues and we see that it's going to cause us an issue, then I'll do a quick save and we'll restart from there. But hopefully it doesn't come to that, because if it comes to that, we might be in for some bigger issues. So let's certainly hope we don't have to go down that road. Okay, so let's go ahead, because what I want to do is sort of work this layout. If I can get the game. Come on, game. Work with me. There we go. And am I going to be able to... Okay, I can't put the road down through there. That's fine. But what I should be able to do... Alright, this guy is doing what? He's getting to where he needs to be, I think. Okay, so let's get our roads there. And let's go down... Okay, now, and let's get some more room for workers. Let's go ahead, let's see what we can do. Okay, now, hold on, I didn't see anybody that just jumped out at me there. So we've got a couple of rooms, so we're going to have room for 48 workers. So my plan is to actually have two types of juice that we're making. One from this orchard, which I'm thinking is going to be apple, but we'll see how that goes. I do want to do one thing real quick. Oops, wrong button. Let's see, can I fit a couple of others in here? Doesn't really look like it. But that's okay. I can simply put them down in this area, and that will be no problem. Or should I say, rather, on the other side, maybe. So that shouldn't be a terribly huge problem. Let's go ahead and get our other field. Let's see. Let's give it, again, give it a little bit of room here, just in case I need to put some water or something over here to give us a little bit of room. Okay, and another 35, if I can see it, 35 by 75. There we go. And then we can continue on with our road over here. If I end up having to put some buildings in this area over here, then we may have to get rid of this road and sort of reroute it. But for the time being, I'm going to put it here. And in fact... let's go ahead and run that road all the way back down. Okay, oops, missed a spot. There we go. All right, let's see, who is ready for breeding? Looks like we got a couple of them. I don't mind doing this part too terribly much, because that means that we are taking these to be... okay, animals here. Okay, they haven't gotten these guys yet. Okay, I think we're in good shape as far as our animals. Now we've got a basic layout for what I think we're going to need here. So up here, if we come in and look at the machine market, let's just take a second here, because I'm not exactly sure what all we're going to need. Now, as far as combines, you can see we've got a forage harvester and then a couple of, looks like a larger and a slightly smaller combine. So we've got crops that we can deal with. We've got what looks to be, yeah, mostly for corn, that harvesting. And then we got, you know, some all-purpose harvesters here, more for the grain type harvesting. Okay. So that gives me an idea there. So some of this field work we're going to have to do manually, I believe, depending on the crops that we put down. For example, let's make sure we're on the most expensive one. Yeah, notice you don't see anything like strawberries down here as an example. So we're going to have to do that type of harvesting manually, unless there is another type further down somewhere like others. Let's see what we got in here. Okay, nope, that's for potatoes. And then we got our mowers here for taking care of grass and making hay. Okay, fertilizers, headers. All right, we got headers for things like corn and grain and so on. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to do a lot of this manually with some of the crops, like I'm sure the peppers and strawberries, who knows what all we'll have to do manually. So it's going to be good to have plenty of housing for workers, and we're going to try to do most of that with the seasonal workers, as long as, again, it works out to where we can get that done. But we should be able to, we've got some room up here, which I had planned to put more space for the rabbits, but if we need to, we can also use this for storage for some of our machinery, sort of like what we did over in this area if need be. And then of course we've got areas up here as well. So that's kind of the basic layout that I'm looking for. My understanding is that the orchards are probably only going to give us one harvest per year, so we're going to have to deal with that. But again, we'll take it as it comes our way and not worry too much about it. Alright, so that'll give us a couple of varieties of juice that we can make here in our factory. Let's see, which of these? Once again, I can't keep track of which ones I have clicked on already to call for the inseminator and which ones I have not. Alright, so we've got this. Where is it? Alright, well, you're going off the side of the map. So there is no road over there. Not sure what that message is and why there is such a problem there. I'm just hoping that that's not going to mean we don't get to sell our goods like we have been. That would definitely not be good. Okay, but other than that, I think everything is going pretty well. If I look up at the top, we are going well. Oh, boy, we're getting those a lot more often. I tell you what, I'm going to cut the video right here. I'm going to do a quick save and reload, and we'll come back and see if we continue getting these messages. All right, we're back. I have closed out the game, did a restart and everything, so here we are back where we were. Let's see. Okay, we're waiting on the inseminator there, so that would explain that icon. Okay, so the alert too low a temperature should be in relation to these fields. That's the only thing we have planted on a field, or planted outside for that matter. Okay, everything else is good, and we'll hope that those messages go away about workers not being able to find their way. Okay, we're not ready to hire any workers just yet. Let's see. Get the inseminator going. All right, so our money seems to be doing okay, but let's just go ahead real quick and see what we've got. So let's go ahead to report, and I want to go to income, and let's do month first, as we've got more animals ready for breeding. And we're on fast forward again. We're just trying to get through the winter months the best we can right now, and then when spring comes back around, we're going to have a whole lot of work to do, a lot of people to hire, a lot of pretty much everything to do. So let's go ahead and let's get back in here. So under report, you can see we have just started the new year. Okay, so let's go with last month. And okay, so we've got good income from those would be our greenhouses. Eggs, about 10,000. Same for the milk. A little bit more than that for some of the other types of milk. But again, not a ton. But if you look at the cow meat, yeah, we're raking it in there. Chickens, not all that much. Same thing for the rabbits. The mutton, not bad. 28, almost 29,000, 24,000, 25,000 for the goats. So our our slaughterhouse operation is doing quite well, mainly due to the profit from the cows. Let's see, we didn't get a whole lot from the wind farm, about 9 grand from it, so we'll just keep. Ooh, the frames have now dropped into the single digits. I was at literally 3 frames per second there a second ago. All right, let's back our way out of this, and I'm going to keep this thing fast forwarding, and we're just going to try to move through the animals. And I'm sure, oh, there we go, I see the message popping up. So we're just going to basically, oh wow, that was a bunch of them. We're basically just going to try to work our way through this and hope that we are not in a position where we can't continue on. And the way we'll know that, other than the annoying messages continuing, is that our money won't be going up as it has been, or if we have certain supplies that we order that can't get delivered, just different things like that. That's how we'll basically know that we are in trouble with this save game. But for now, we're going to try to move on without any issue as much as possible. Okay, try to keep these greenhouses going. Okay, so I think, do I even dare say that we're getting caught up here? Or is there one lonely guy that's got to work by himself? Okay, more animals ready for breeding. Yeah, we need that automatic inseminator just as soon as possible. Oh, come on, click on it right. There we go. And so now we're in the clicker game stage while we're on fast forward. Okay, greenhouses. Still doing good. I'm noticing, yep, you can see the money going up. So that's our auto sale working out for us. So far, everything appears to be okay, as best I can tell. Let's see, while we're at it, let's go ahead and add some more. The rabbits aren't terribly profitable, but maybe that we could get some more money out of them if I put some more of these down. We had talked about, of course, doing this area possibly for other things, and if the time comes and we need to do that, we can certainly get rid of these. But for the time being, we're going to use this for the rabbit operation. Yep, we're still getting these messages, and I have no idea if there's anything I can do to fix that. We got plenty of roads. Alright, so show that. Yep, it's still going back over here to this area. Alright, so nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Okay, now let's slow things down a little bit. Try to catch up on some of these clicks. And okay, that's all I see for the animals over here. Let's see, we got one right there. Okay, so now let's take a look. What do we have as far as housing for employees? That's what I thought. We have none. So what I'm going to try to do, if the game will allow me, is I'm going to put some housing. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it right there. Make sure I can still run our road through there, because I'm sure in due time we'll be purchasing, these areas. Okay, so we're going to need, what, 6, 7, I believe, more employees, because this one's already got an employee. So yes, we're going to need. Okay, so we'll give it a little time and let that house get built. Okay. More inseminators. Let's make sure our greenhouses are in good shape. Okay, show. Alright, so this is where... Or actually, I think I must have gotten the your animals are ready for breeding message right there instead of the one I thought I was clicking on. Okay, so we got our new housing, I think is done. Yeah, it's done. So let's go ahead and hire a few workers. Okay, let's see what we've got. Of course, we need... Okay, 530, not bad. This is better because we only have that one ability, which is really all we need. The others won't hurt anything. Oh, we need permanent. You can see some seasonal workers there starting to come in at the bottom. We don't need that. Let's see, 533. Okay, that's not bad. Nope, my bad. I was looking at the wrong icon there. I almost got somebody that would not have been a great fit for us. Okay, let's go ahead and max you out and get you going, which I think you're going to be right here. Yes. Perfect. And animal, let's get 2 in there. And then we'll let nature take its course there. I'm not sure, and I know this has been mentioned many times, I'm not sure why there is an inseminator for things like the rabbits. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Cows I get. Cows make more sense, but yeah, beyond that, I'm not sure why we have that system in place. My best guess is that we're just trying to keep everything the same. All the animals work the same for the breeding. That's my best guess as to why it's done that way. Okay, so you can see I am spending a little bit less time worrying about how much we're going to pay these folks, and more time just trying to find some workers. Now, I do not like 740. That's too much. Okay. Okay, call our inseminator while we're in the area. All right, excellent. So let's go ahead and let's place these guys that we can place. Okay, 1, 2. There we go. We got messages just popping up all over the place. So, second employee. And we don't care about the plants, but we do care about the animals. A couple there. Let's move on to the next one because I think we got what? Yeah, one more employee. Okay, and 2 animals there. So we've got 3 more hutches if I did that right. I think we've now got all of them with workers other than the last 3. Oh, look at all that food in there. That's good. We'll take it. As much as I want to make sure we're making tons of money from selling this stuff, if the animals need it for feed, then by all means, take it. All right, so we need 3 more. See if we can't find those right quick, as we are nearing halfway through the winter season. Okay, 539, that'll work. So we need 1 more. Give me 1 more good one. There we go. I like that. That should get us to where we need to go. All right, excellent. Okay, let's get 2. And choose. Of course, my hope here is that because we're not on fast forward, that we can actually get back to the slaughterhouse. Let's see, did we get everything there? Caregiver. Okay, caregiver maxed out. Okay, excellent. I'm hoping we can get back to the slaughterhouse and make our changes that we need to before they come and they take all of our animals. Who knows? We might have to do this stuff again. Hopefully not, though. Okay. All right, we are in good shape. Now let's come back down to our slaughterhouse. And let's get ourselves fixed up. So 2's all the way down is what we want. And I think that's the last one. Yes, that's the last one. So we'll just verify we got 2 in every slot in here. And then, of course, animals are still being delivered. Okay, I can see, yeah, these last 3 in particular don't have anything in them just yet. Okay, so I think we're all set. Let's go ahead and move forward. Woo! That was a lot. And our frames are now down into the single digits once again. So I do apologize for the choppiness. I wish there was more I could do about it for you. Because I'm certainly not... Okay, here we go. Let's see if it's the same thing. Yep, it's always that same thing. So they're going off the edge of the map. Not sure why that's triggering a message. It hasn't, to this point, triggered any error messages, but for some reason it is now. Low amount of food, that's certainly not what we want to see. Alright, where is that located? Okay, that's over here with our new rabbits. Alright, that should take care of itself. It did before. Because we should have, yeah, we've got some food in here, so... Okay. Look at these rabbits. This is absolutely hilarious when it gets to a certain point. And it just seems to be a constant barrage of messages. Okay, we need to call the vet. Looks like we got him a little bit too hungry. But the others seem to be doing okay. You can see their health goes down. But it seems like, yeah, it seems like everybody's gotten food now. Okay, we're about halfway through the winter season. And so let's just sort of back up and take stock in where we are. Because my plan is when we come back for our next episode that we are going to get started in the spring. That is my plan there because I can't wait to start working these orchards. I can't wait to see how the field work goes and whether everything goes according to plan. Or if we find out that one way or another, whether it's the machines that are the better way of doing work or hiring a whole bunch of seasonal help is the better way to go about it. Have no idea which way it's going to turn out. And that's why it's going to be so fun to find out. Alright, have I caught up with all the clicker messages? I doubt it. Yeah, we've got way too many clicker messages for the rabbits for me to even dream of having caught up. Okay, so apparently we grew 4 sheep. I would have thought we'd have done that a long time ago, but because we've been, even with the slaughterhouse, we've been doing this for a while. Either way, doesn't make any difference. Alright, it definitely seems like we've got the rabbits squared away. I mean, just look at these guys. Wow. We may never get out of this endless cycle. Unless I just ignore them for the messages for a little while and let things slow down. Which is probably what we're going to have to do when we get ready for the field work. We're just going to have to ignore these messages that we're going to be getting from the greenhouses, which, as I mentioned before, I may start ignoring them a little bit more. Anyway, once we see how well our crops do in the field, who knows, we might not have use for these anymore given the distraction that they generally cause. Same thing with the rabbits over here. If it turns out that the rabbits are going to give us a very low profitability even after we've added some more hutches, then we might just decide to not worry a whole lot more about them and go a different direction. All right, so we're up to 1.1 million, which is really good because we've built some more housing. We've built a juice factory. We built some farms. We built some rabbit hutches. I mean, we've built some stuff here and spent some money, but yet our money continues to go up. And of course, all of this is being done without the benefit of the different varieties of honey, which is a huge amount of money. So speaking of money, let's come back in, take a look at our report. Oh my goodness, look at that. We're at 1 frame per second there for a few moments. Yep, we're back. No, maybe. Wow. Wow. Okay, yeah, this is getting really bad right now, as I'm sure you can all tell. All right, goat's milk. Holy cow, we're making some serious cash off some goat's milk. And you can see the honey, look at that, 147,000, 111, and 111. Yeah, that's why I told you guys that I was not at all worried about harvesting these fields, nor did I care about the health. All I really wanted to do is keep them alive. And I knew if I could do that, then look at this extra money. Over 220,000 that we're getting there. All right, let's see what we're getting. See what we're getting here recently that's actually helping us through the winter months. Of course, greenhouses are doing very nice for us. And let's see, what else is doing good? Eggs doing pretty good. Goat's milk, again, star of the show. Then once we get down to the production side of things, why are we not... Oh, I know why. Because I have forgotten to work with the cows. That's why. So goat's meat doing very nice. The mutton also doing nice. Not a whole lot going on with the rabbits and the chickens. Okay. No big deal there. Let's go ahead and take care of our issues with the cows right now. I am very ready for them to be on their own cycle of reproduction, where we start getting those messages once again for the inseminator. This time for the cows, but look at all these messages we're getting. Wow. When you play on fast forward, it does not take long at all for these to mount up. Let's see, let's try to catch them all up, at least for a few minutes. All right, I think we got them, except for, of course, the rabbits. All right, so at this point, let's slow things down a little bit, because otherwise I'll never get caught up with the rabbits. Because as quick as I can get them clicked, it seems like they're ready to go again. Okay, I think that's the last one. Did I get this middle one? Yes, I did. Okay, so we did, in today's episode, get this very annoying and worrisome message. Worrisome because I'm not sure what effect this is actually having on our gameplay other than simply being annoying, which it is definitely doing that. Of course, we've got our training that is going on, and this training is going to open up some different avenues for us on things like field work and some of the bigger production that we can do. But you can see we got a little bit left on that. It'll be done, I think, around next fall. So a while before that will become an issue. But otherwise, winter is going pretty good, I hesitate to say. As long as I can remember to deal with the cows for the purposes of our slaughterhouse, we should be in good shape and continue making some nice money. And then as we continue to go forward, oops, we run out of workers. continue to go forward and expand, then that's where we'll make some decisions about, are we going to continue to work the greenhouses? What are we going to do about the clicker game that ensues anytime you're dealing with the animal husbandry? All those sorts of decisions we'll have to make as we continue to move forward. So that's going to do it for today's video. Looks like I've got some work to do. I need to put a few more pumps out, I think, for our new fields and our orchards. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we continue to work in Farm Manager 2018.